Is Charlie Brown the best pro prospect in the city?
I would have to say yes.
Yeah, as of today.
As of right now,
He's beautiful, man. You watch how he
I
scores.
watch. He scores some. You talking about the effortless score? That's one. And one of the things that I wanted to send you, you know, I do a lot of what you would say reading on the NBA draft and different things like that. And one of the guys that they talked about on ESPN was then whose stock was increasing. Charlie Brown was one of the guys that they mentioned. He was, matter of fact, he went from not being ranked at all to being ranked in the top 50. Mm-hmm. Now, like I said, it's not surprising to see that he even's going to make another jump. What they're looking for him more so now is how is he going to fit defensively? I think they already know he can score on the pro level. He can score on the pro level.
Any kind of way.
Yeah, he can score on the pro level.
And I think that another thing that's going to impact him is his injuries.
Yes.
His injury woes. I mean, he just came off his wrist injury, and now he's got an ankle. You know, you don't want to constantly see him in a cast. Don't want to constantly see him in a boot. I mean, because when you talk about pros, they're playing games 3, 4, 5 times a week. Mm-hmm. You know, even though they elongated the season, they started earlier, so they don't have as many back-to-backs. Still, you can't be fragile, you know, in that game. So I think that a team that takes him is going to have to be comfortable with his durability. But in terms of just pure talent, one of the things you look for in talented people is they can do things that a regular person can do, but they make it look effortless.
He definitely does.
He is one of the most fluid scorers in the city, if not the most. You know, just his stroke, but his stroke has always been there.
He's pure.
But now, it's just, that's a pro stroke.
I'll tell you somebody else I do like, and he brought up Sal. There's another guy I think has pro potential. And I think they kind of probably rushed him a little bit to, you know, get back because they are struggling some. That's Jack Clark.
A lot of points coming in early, yeah.
Jack Clark, you know, I've always been a big fan of Jack also when he was at Cheltenham because he's very smooth. And he's a legit 6'7" now.
You know those guys are back-to-back out of the same program.
Well, and let's talk about somebody else from that program. Definite lottery pick, DeAndre Hunter. Mm-hmm. You know, one of the things.
What they doing with them wings over there at Philly Pride, man? They putting the wings out, man.
I'll say this, because I'm not going to take anything from any of these programs here. We are blessed with some of the best programs in the country. And I know sometimes there's some friction between some. You're going to have team final again with the lottery pick with Cam Reddish. But now you got We Are One. They got Derrick Jones, who's performing very
well. Is in.
Yes, in the league. Mm-hmm. And then you got all of these guys coming up. You got Eric Dixon, Isaiah Wong coming up right behind those guys.
Eric Ayala.
I love him. Great play. But you got Philly Pride. And one of the things I always would say is, if there's somebody that is under the radar but got talent, I would probably send them to Philly Pride. Whatever Sean Colson, Howard Hudson, Amar Alston does, it's working. And these guys, when they were in the city, they weren't considered the top tier prospects in the city. Mm-hmm. They're making them top tier NBA prospects. So my hat goes off to Kamal Yard, Philly Pride. You're doing a wonderful job. Skip Robinson, We Are One, Rob Brown, Aaron Burke, team final. Lonnie Lowry, Kalo, you know, you guys are doing a
are
wonderful
really
job.
working hard and putting their guys in position. I think throughout all the programs, the Adidas program, all the programs. But one of the things I wanted to say about DeAndre Hunter, and I can't emphasize this enough. We live in a microwave age, okay? And people want it now.
And he had to sit out.
But now probably isn't the best way for everybody. It's not the best way for most kids.
Well, interrupt you for 1 second. The physical transformation that he underwent had to take a year. I mean, you don't add that much armor. He looked like Karl Malone out there, man.
We played, Abington played Friends Central at Chestnut Hill 2 years ago. And he looked like a pro 2 guard at that point. After going to Virginia and putting on that weight, and it's muscle. After he did, like, people talk bad about red shirting and like, oh, how could they red shirt? And I'm like, do you understand that you're giving up a year to build yourself to be a better player?
Well, they're not going to get all those years out of him now. He ain't staying.
No. And I get well, you saw it because what they've been able to do, well, first of all, what they've been able to do at Virginia with him is phenomenal. From the standpoint of they've been able to get him to put on all that weight and not lose any of his athleticism. And you saw that when he went down last year, they had nobody athletic enough on the perimeter or inside to compete.
When he went down, we actually saw history. The first number 1 seed to ever lose to a 16 seed.
And I don't think that happened.
Got me. I can see reality gonna be